Welcome back to Naranana Scholars. I'm excited to continue the conversation today with the great Ben Sidran. Today we're going to discuss the iconic song, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?
I built a railroad, made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime?
You've spoken a bit about the social justice component to the Jewish involvement in American music, and it'd be great to speak now about Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?
Yeah, written by Yip Harburg. Yip Harburg was a lyricist who worked initially a lot with Harold Arlen, and it was a great team. It was a great team. Brother, Can You Spare a Dime was not written with Harold Arlen. I think Gornick is the...
It's Gorney, Jay Gorney?
Yeah, Jay Gornick wrote the music. But it was a Depression song, and it was about the average man who built the skyscrapers and now was on the corner begging. And it was the first clearly social justice song that became, I wouldn't call it a hit, but it immediately was all over the country. Everybody knew that song. And it became in some ways a model for other social justice songs that were not afraid to speak of historical events and situations candidly, not metaphorically, as writers or actors had in the past, but would say, as Harburg did, I built that. You used to call me Joe. Now you don't seem to know my name. How come you don't know me anymore? And it really captures the crisis of the dominance of economics in American culture. And so when you look at Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, or you look at any number of songs, you can trace it back to this one song where popular culture found a way to integrate contemporary history artistically so that it couldn't be denied. And of course, they tried to deny Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? It was banned from radio, but that only made it more famous and more people knew about it.
Well, what did they ban it for?
Well, banning is too strong a word. I mean, later on, when Billie Holiday did Strange Fruit, it literally was banned. I mean, you couldn't play it for inciting the public. Brother, Can You Spare a Dime was not there at a time when that radio wasn't seen as playing hit songs back then. Radio was playing spoken word, ethnic music. There would be a program for German immigrants with marching music and a program for Jews, and they play Jewish, whatever that was. So it wasn't banned as Strange Fruit was, but it was not a radio phenomenon. Well, fair enough. There wasn't a big radio phenomenon back then. But the interesting thing about Yip Harburg was he started out wanting to be a songwriter, having obviously a gift as a songwriter, but not wanting to take the chance. He grew up with the Gershwins, and he grew up with a lot of Jews who went into, second generation Jews who went into songwriting, but he didn't want to take a chance. He became a businessman, and he built up a very nice business that he lost during the crash of 29. And so his initial way into the music business was through a social and economic crisis. And he was to say later on, that was the best thing that ever happened to him, was his business going under.
So that must have happened. That happened right before he, I think this song was 1930, right?
Or 30, around 30, 31 maybe. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think he's so underrated. Well,
Yeah. Well, but he went on to write great Finnegan's Rainbow, great social justice songs, and being the conscience of popular songwriting for a long time.
In khaki suits, I said, gee, we look swell, filled with Yankee Doodly-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell. I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember they called me Al? It was Al all the time. Say, don't you remember I'm your pal, brother? Can you spare a dime? Say, don't you remember I'm your pal? I said, buddy, can you spare a dime?
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and hope you'll join us next week. As a nonprofit, we can only afford to put on great programming like this thanks to your support. Please visit us at narananaarts.org for more information and to learn how to get involved.